top tips to play XDefiant like a pro, I would say number one, your loadout. You got to have the right loadout. You got to get the attachments that are benefiting the playstyle that you want to aim for.
I like to put on attachments that are gonna make me quicker. I like to be fast. I like to be mobile. For you, you might need to be more accurate. Either way, try them, see how they fit you, and go from there.
If I had to go with like go-to attachments, I'd probably go with quick draw. Quick draw is always a must for me. Just to be able to pull my gun up faster. When it comes to assault rifles too, I like to throw on the red dot just so I can be able to see what I'm shooting at. Those are like my two must-haves.
I personally love quick draw across the board on the SMGs, the assault rifles, and it just makes it so you want to have a good balance of good recoil control, be able to aim in quickly, and be ready for those spontaneous gunfights.
And putting attachments on your gun to up your strafe speed, especially on ARs, is one of the best things you can do to up your accuracy percentage without having to mess with your aim or sensitivity too much.
So I sprint a lot. I'm kind of a fast running gun player. So I aim for those sprint out attachments. That sprint out time, reduce that. ADS time, reduce that. And then, but also you need to maintain and not add too much complexity in terms of adding recoil and basically getting those negative movement speed penalties. So you really want to kind of fine tune to cater to your play style to make sure that you're always available to play the way you want with the best loadout possible.
The second tip would be understanding the movement mechanics. And that's because XDefiant isn't a game that is slow paced and you can just kind of hold your ADS and walk around the map.
Movement is a really core aspect of our gameplay. Not only defensively, but also offensively when you're in an engagement. For us, like the slide jump combo is super effective when you're going on the offensive.
Why? You make people miss. When you make people miss, it's easier to use your skills, your abilities, your ultras, your ultimates. Anything you do in the game becomes easier when you slide, jump, and move effectively in the air.
What we do is we allow you to keep your momentum through slides as long as you're maintaining forward momentum. So you're able to kind of chain those events back and forth. Another big aspect is our in-air ability because you can strafe in air. So if you're in a gunfight, wiggle your left stick a little, or if you're on mouse and keyboard, A and D, and you'll be able to basically be able to kind of navigate mid-air, which gives you a little like side juke, and it's really hard to hit.
A lot of players in the closed beta, they used it to like camera corners. And what that means is basically you'll slide jump as you come around the corner. So it just makes you a harder target to hit.
Acceleration of movement is what increases that cameraing aspect. So what I want you to do is maybe you hit that corner slow and then you throw in a movement to make it accelerate to being fast.
You know when you hit it like really good, when you feel like somebody missed a whole clip on you, you hit a reload mid-air, mid-strafe, and then you kill them. I think it's like the #1 most like skill gap differentiating thing in the game.
If someone's doing that to you, I would say the best counter is really just crouching. I think crouching is like a really effective method in counterplay because you basically just crouch down, you're stagnant, but the enemy is going to be expecting you to be doing what they're doing, and you can really throw them off guard and probably get the advantage.
You need to be strafing into your target. The less input you have on the right stick, the more accurate you're going to be. So what I mean by that, like your ADS, and I need you to strafe to put that red dot on your target.
So when we're talking about a game like XDefiant, where we have factions and different playable characters, that's a whole nother story and a whole nother thing you need to take into mind when you're playing the game.
Is all about getting value out of your abilities with each character and using them at the right times in coordination with your teammates to maximize value. So if you use these abilities at the right time, you can minimize the amount of actual gunfights that you even have and force the enemy team to spawn out as far as possible based on these kills. So you take ability like the Aegis, for example. You pop that at the right time, and instead of burning multiple ultra abilities on one hard point, you can combine that with a Remedio healing on the ground. And there's no way the other enemy teams are going to be able to take back a hard point. You can use that, lock down 45 free seconds, and then use your next ultra ability on the rotation towards new. So it's all about timing those abilities at the right time to basically make it so you can lock down with your teammates and not have to take gunfights.
Use a faction that not only helps yourself but your team would be Libertad. They have a healing ability that heals you and anyone in the vicinity of you, so it can come to good use in team fights, team play.
On top of movement is knowing when you should play a specific character. because they all have their own positives, they all have their own negatives, but there's always a way to counter.
Understanding the power positions, really, so you don't get caught off guard. So you don't ever have to play reactionary. You're always one step ahead. And an example of what a power spot is, I'll use the map Arena, for example. Top mid is a power position. And the reason why it's a power position is because of where all the spawns are in the map. You spawn in, a lot of the times you'll spawn in like the locker rooms, in the tunnels around the outskirts of the map. So while you're top mid, you can really get an angle on every spawn that your enemy will be coming from. And you can also hold lanes down. When you get into these power spots, sometimes you can use either gun if you're more of an AR player or an SMG player.
It's more so just getting some game knowledge, and that goes with just putting a lot of time into the game. And with time, your knowledge will come.
These are sort of advanced things, but these are things that are definitely going to help improve your play.
We're locking down the zone. Mission success. It's almost like you've done this before.